How about we practice modes today? How about the F Lydian? And the G Mixolydian? And the A Aeolian? Oh, wait, I'm not practicing modes, am I? I wanted to get into something today, a lesson that kind of drives me nuts every time I see it online, which is that often, at least in the guitar world, modes are taught extremely wrong. And why is that? We get these things, you see it in magazines, you see it in videos, you see it from professional guitar players a lot of times, where they show you some chord or scale shape and they say this is the F Lydian scale shape, or this is the G Mixolydian scale shape. And what you get is a bunch of people that don't have any idea what modes are, even professional musicians that I meet on a regular basis. And I want to demystify the modes today for you a bit. And I think there might even be a demystifying modes thing out there, and I'm not sure if it's any good or not. But I'm here to try to help you and help explain what the sound of this really is. The fact of the matter is, playing a scale, starting, with the lowest note being something, and then playing what you read about as the mode, for instance, like an F Lydian being F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, is, in some ways, on the paper, it is correct, but the problem is it doesn't reflect on what you actually hear. Modes are all about the sound and the color that you create, and I want you to hear that today. So when you play this and you think that you are playing an actual F Lydian mode, you're not giving all the information. Could it be the F Lydian mode? It could be. However, because you played it in that position does not make it the F Lydian mode. So let's get that straight. I want to do something for you here that I think will open up your ears and start to hear the difference of what you're actually hearing and the sounds and what makes something a mode and not just playing through a scale. So I'm going to start a C drone. Give me a second. Now I've started a drone, a C drone in the background. So you can hear this note. It's just a C. And so what happens if I do play this F Lydian shape? Against the C drone? Well, the fact of the matter is I'm not playing an F Lydian. I'm actually playing in C Ionian, because this is the foundational tonic note that we're hearing. Regardless of what note you start on or end on, or what's low and what's the highest notes you played, does not reflect what the actual mode is. You have to start hearing this against the key center, and in this case, or the key of the moment, or the tonic center of the moment, is what reflects what mode you hear. It's actually much more vertical in terms of it's almost like the mode is the color of the chord voicing in some sense that you're hearing in the moment. But for now, let's just think about having one tonic in the background, which is this C. What if I play the G Mixolydian shape that everyone says? Notice it hasn't changed color. Even though I'm playing some other shape, even if I land on G, it doesn't sound like G Mixolydian. This is not, what you're hearing right now is not the sound of G Mixolydian. What you're hearing right now is C Ionian. If we start on A, it's the same thing. And then if we start on B, it's definitely not B Locrian. If we start on C, it is C Ionian. Start on D, it's not Dorian. But it's still C Ionian. Now you might be thinking, well then how do I actually play, you know, Phrygian and all these kind of things? So I'm gonna do something for you here. Now let's say I wanted to play a Lydian sound. I want to hear Lydian. Well, C is our drone, so everything goes back and is related to C in this case. So in terms of colors and how we're going to represent them. So if I want to play C, then we're talking C Lydian. Regardless of what shape I use and what you call those shapes, I highly recommend you stop using those names for these scale shapes. They are just shapes within the scale, and I would recommend re-referencing them because they're going to confuse you. So in the case of C Lydian, the big thing is that the fourth turns into a sharp 4, and in this case that means that the F, which we've been hearing so far, it becomes an F sharp. So to get Lydian, you're going to hear the C in the background. Ah, now different sound. So even though you might think, oh, I'm playing the A Dorian shape, but you're really playing C Lydian. C Lydian, which is really just a G major scale, but because we hear the C as the tonic, we hear it, this strong pull back to this note. It's all related back to that. How about we talk about C Phrygian now? Again, we're going back to the C sound, but we got a D flat. The C is the foundation again. Notice how different this sound is, the color is, but it's still a major scale. I'm not playing a minor scale as the foundation. I mean, it's sort of a minor scale. It's minor in that against the key center it's minor. But you could think of it as A flat major scale is what actually creates this mode, or is the foundation for it. It's not A flat Ionian, because I played this. Because I'm still hearing it against this. And I'm not playing so you can hear me play. I'm playing because I want you to be able to hear the sounds of these modes. You know, we don't have to just stick to major modes. There's melodic minor modes. We can just think the C melodic minor sound. that C. But if we take it and we play an A melodic minor, now we get a much different sound, and it has a C in it. So which is more like a C Lydian with a sharp 5 mode. And then if we go back to C Ionian sound, so I hope that this was enlightening. I'd like to go over a lot more mode stuff with you, but I wanted to take this first step in starting to hear different things about modes and how it's about the color that's created by the key of the moment, not about some chord shape, not about what note you start on, but the foundational tonic of the sound that's going on. So even though you're playing what you think is F Lydian, if the bass or the foundation and the band you're playing is hanging on a E chord or something, then you're really playing an E Phrygian sound, despite the fact that you might be thinking that you're playing in Lydian. Because the pull of that sound is towards that E. It's towards the tonic. So I hope that this was enlightening. And there might be a lot of people that this is already known for, but I'm really making this video for people who haven't been exposed to this thing yet. Because the thing is, modes are one of the coolest, most beautiful things in music. And they're so worth exploring. But you need to explore them in a way that allows you to hear what's happening with the music. So good luck, and I'll see you next time.